Hey guys, it's Mr. Hing here. I hope you are all so well and doing fine during exam season. The truth of the matter is that I did not record many videos because I had a new laptop and I didn't have a mic for it. Or rather, the laptop didn't receive the mic that I had. So I needed to get another mic, and here we are today. So what we are going to be doing, not maybe that was pointless information for you. What we are doing today, have a look here. It's the 14th of June, so this is the day that I'm recording it. So hopefully I'll be able to help some of you guys with your factorization. We're just going to have a look at three main ways. I'm going to try and emphasize the basics on how to do the three main ways of factorizing, namely highest common factor, HCF, difference of two squares, dots, and the trinomial method. Obviously, there's grouping methods and there are more as well. But for now, we are just going to look at these first three. I'm going to make other videos for the other two. Today, we're just going to have a look at what we'll see over here, the HCF method. So let's have a look at it together. Step number one is, what is the HCF for the coefficient? I'll explain what that means. What is the HCF for the variables? I'll explain what that means. And then lastly, find out what's left over in the brackets and divide by the HCF. So let's see, how do we put this into practice? So let's have a look at our first question together. So we have a question saying factorize this over here. So we have 2a cubed plus 10a squared minus 4a. So ask yourself, what is the highest common factor for the coefficient? Okay, so what are my coefficients in this expression? So it's definitely 2, 10, and negative 4. But we just think of the number, not the sign. Okay, so let's have a look. 2, 10, and 4. What is the highest common factor between those numbers? So it's going to be 2, okay, because 2 goes into 2, 2 goes into 10 and 4, and it's the highest common factor. Okay, so that one we got down easy. That one's pretty simple. We know how to do highest common factors for numbers. But now the second one is, what is the HCF for the variables? Now remember, variables are like the letters with the exponents in your expression. So how we in grade 8 you didn't really learn this. So how do you determine what is the HCF of a variable? So this is how you do it, guys. Please just listen carefully. So you must look at what are all the variables that are present in your algebraic expression. So over here we have a cubed, a squared, and we have a. Now the exponents are vital when we are doing this step. Okay, so the first thing that you ask yourself is, what is the HCF? So first look for all the basically common letters amongst all of the terms. So say now there was a B over here, a big B, not big obviously, but one that you see, then B would not be a common one. Do you understand? So I just wanted to make that a silly example. So now you can see with the A3, a to the 2, and A is definitely going to be a highest common factor. But now you must ask yourself, what version of A is it going to be? Is it going to be a to the imaginary 1? Is it going to be a to the 2? Is it going to be a to the 3? Which A must it be? And this is I'm going to help you out on how to figure that out. So we definitely know that A is going to be a common factor, okay, because it's common in all of them, in all of the terms. And now you ask yourself, is a to the imaginary 1 at least in all of them? And yes, it is. There's a to the imaginary 1 here. There's a times a over here. That makes it a squared. So there's at least 1 here in this term. And then over here, there's a cubed. So that's a times a times a. So therefore, there's at least 1a over here as well. So therefore, we know that a to the 1, or imaginary 1, is definite. It can be the answer. But you must ask yourself, can a to the 2, should it be a to the 2? Because it must be the highest common factor. But now if you ask yourself that same question, you must keep asking yourself that question, is a squared present over here? No, it's not. So therefore it scratches out that that option, and it can't be a squared, so then it must be a to the imaginary 1. So you join that and you put it with your HCF of the coefficient, if that makes sense. So you just put a over there. Okay, let me just tidy up over here a little bit my nonsense. All right, so now we can carry on and find out how do we do the last step. So let me just recap. Step number 1, the HCF for the coefficient. The coefficient, remember, if I have something like this, the coefficient is that number in front. Okay, so you ask yourself, what is the HCF for the coefficients, okay, for all the terms? So 2, 10, and 4, it was 2. Then what is the HCF for the variables? You look at all the variables and you must see what is common, and then also which version is it going to be, a to the 1, a to the 2, a to the 3, and you determine that how I told you. Then number 3 is find out what's left over in the bracket. So firstly, I must tell you, after you have done step 1 and 2, you open up a set of brackets. Okay, that is very important. And then how do you find out what is going to be left over in this bracket? So I'm going to explain that in detail now. You're going to take each term, the 2a cubed, you can do notes on the side of your test. You're going to take the 2a cubed, you'll take the 10a squared, that's the second term, and the third term. So you take every term, okay, and you can even take the signs with them. That's important. Take the signs with them as well, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to say 2a cubed, you take that, and we're going to divide. This is so important, please listen. You're going to divide by the HCF that you have determined. And what is my HCF? It's the 2a. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this term, divide it by the 2a, take this term, divide it by the 2a, take this term and divide it by the 2a. So don't worry how messy this looks. This is just notes. This is not part of your answer, please. This is not part of your answer. It's just helping you get to the answer. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So then, guys, once we have taken each term and divided it by the HCF, you just do that little sum on the side, you get your answer. So the first term was 2a cubed divided by 2a. Let's do that together. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then a cubed divided by a to the imaginary 1, you'll be left over with a squared. Okay, and then remember, you don't need to write the 1 there, it's imaginary. So guys, what I want to say, whatever answer you get on the wherever you're doing the notes, you take that answer and that is how you find out what is left over in the bracket. Okay, I'll say that again. After you've taken a term from the original question, you divide it by your HCF. Whatever answer you get, you put that into the place of where in the bracket. In the bracket. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. So I took my term, the next term, you must take every term. I took my next term, 10a squared, divided by the 2a. You do that little sum on the side, as like if you need to make a few little notes, if you can't do it in your head. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. A squared divided by a to the imaginary 1 will leave you with a. So you take that and you write it over here, plus 5a. And then lastly, you take minus 4a, divide it by your 2a, and you are going to get minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2, and a divided by a is imaginary 1 times 1. So it basically goes away because you'll get the same answer. So you take your minus 2 and you put it in there. So minus 2. And that, guys, is how you do HCF method for factorizing. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more questions with you. I'll go relatively slowly so that we can all follow along. Okay, let's have a look at B together. I'll speed up a little bit for this one. So, step number 1, what between the coefficients of 100, 50, and 50? What is the HCF? The HCF is 50. Okay. Now we look at all of our variables. We have a, b squared, c, a, b squared, c, a, b, c. So what variable is definitely common? There's a, and a. So a is definitely going to be a common one. There's b, b, b. So b is definitely going to be common. And c, c, c. C will definitely be common. Now, must it be a or a squared? Should it be a squared? No, because there's no a squareds anywhere here. So no, that's not going to be a squared. Should it be b squared? There's a b squared here, but there's no b squared here. So it's going to stay b to the imaginary 1. And then lastly for c, should it go up? B squared. Is there c squared? No, there's not. So this is actually fine. It's just going to be 50. And remember I said we take this and we put it next to that over there. Let me clean this up a little bit. So once we have gotten that, we are on our last step of finding out what needs to be left over in the brackets. So you can have some notes on the side, and this is where we go and we do the little bit of division for every term. So 100 a b squared c divided by my HCF 50 a b c. 100 divided by 50 is 2. A divided by a, that will go away. B squared divided by b, you'll be left with a b because there's 2 at the top. And c divided by c, that will go away. So 2b is left over here. Next, we take this minus 50 ab squared c over 50 ABC, and what's going to end up happening is we'll get a negative imaginary 1. The a's will cancel. There's 2 b's here, there's 1 b here, so it'll be a b left over, and the c's cancel. So we take this and we put it over here, minus b. I hope you're following along. If not, you can go back. And then the last one, we take this one over here. This one, look how interesting this is, minus 50 ABC divided by 50 ABC. And what we're going to end up getting, excuse me, is, so that divided by that is minus 1, right? And then the A's cancel, the B's cancel, and the C's cancel. So we actually just end up with negative 1. And we put that over here. So this, everybody, is my final answer after factorizing. Let's have a look at one more together. So let's have a look at C. I'll go a bit faster. So again, we look at 5, 10. My HCF is going to be 5. We look at all of our, what do we call these? Variables, right? Including the exponents. That's very important. And we can see that there's an x present. There's y present. So should it be x squared? No, because there's no x squareds. Should it be y squared? There is a y squared, but there's no y squared over there. So we're going to keep it over there. All right. So we're going to put that over, we're going to attach that over there, open up some brackets. Let me erase that. And then let's find out what's going to be left over in the brackets. So we take the 5xy divided by 5xy. Oh, look at that. It's the exact same. Everything cancels with each other, which gives me 1. So 1 will be left over. And then we take the last term, minus 10xy squared over 5xy. Minus 10 divided by 5 is minus 2. X divided by x will cancel, and then a y squared divided by the y to the imaginary 1 will cancel, but I'll have a y left over. So we'll have minus 2y. And that over there is my final answer after factorizing. Okay, guys. So that is basically the basics. Oh, sorry for that English. Of HCF. Right, I will try and get to the difference of two squares soon, as well as trinomial, but for now that is the main way to do or the way to do factorizing using the highest common factor method.